YouTube, welcome to the top 8 grand finale and top deck list. We are banning Poplar again, continuing from the last tournament. It's the last time we're doing it, and then we're going to be abiding by the new Konami ban list, which will surely fix everything, I'm sure. And with that said, by watching as long as you can, that greatly supports me. Thank you very much. Liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Thank you. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Airlifter on summon. Come to me emergency. We have no hand traps in sight, so we could speed this up. We have Hydrant being summoned from the deck, sending a rescue from our hands to the grave, banishing from the grave to summon Preventer. Preventer and the Airlifter making the SP Little Knight to trigger the Preventer to summon the Turbulence. This is the counter to Imperm and Veiler, as the Little Knight will dodge it on the Turbulence in response to it activating. And if you activate it early, it's still going to be countered by making a Promethean Princess to then reborn the Turbulence. It's the perfect out. And just like that, we have a ton of back row set, giving us the ability for triple disruption from just the Rescue Ace cards. But in addition to that, we also have the SP Little Knight to banish a monster on both sides of the fields in response to any card effect activating. So what is good here? We got 4 disruption to just play through, set a bunch of back row and pass. Let's do it. Diplos on summon, sending a trap from the deck to the grave. Contain will contain the Diplos from being able to attack, cannot be used for the extra deck, and no effect. So we're going to set it all up. We're going to Wanna Be in the end phase. Wanna Be is a very cool effect. It's, not good against Rescue Ace. It's per unused card in the opponent's back row, we get to reveal that many cards from our deck, which is supposed to be 5, but in this case, it's only 2. And thankfully, we had a pretty good card being revealed among those 2 cards, being the Solemn Strike, which has the ability to negate an effect of special summon or a monster effect itself. All right, let's go. Preventer flipping down the Diplos, which could turn off the ability to use a card like Intact. So we need a face-up Dinomorphia card, even if it's momentarily a Dinomorphia card, a trap that is, to make this activatable to negate a monster effect. Now, the biggest part of Dinomorphia is, unfortunately, having access to the Frenzy or the Domain, which we do not have. So this is bad. This is very bad. We have nothing. And the Brute is only activatable by destroying a Dinomorphia monster you control and one card your opponent controls. Thus, the Brute's not even activatable because it's face down. We're going to Solemn Strike. Ooh, this is going to trigger the Turbulence to pop a card in the field. I mean, we lose this straight up. We should just hop into game number 2. This is going nowhere good. Turbulence taking out the Intact, Alert grabbing a Preventer. A lot of Turbulence, I should say, Rescue Ace players, I believe, play Phoenix to help pop some back row potentially. We may be seeing that. Banish to come forth and summon. We're going to there it is. Using Little Knight to summon a Nightmare Phoenix. On summon, discard a card, pop a card in the field, taking out the dead Brute. Brute not usable because there's no face-up Dinomorphia monster. Preventer being sent, Reborn and Airlifter. Let's speed this up, honestly. What else could really be done? Promethean Princess, Reborn from the grave, further Shokaning into the Raging Phoenix. We're going to link off Raging Phoenix into the Zealantis. Zealantis banishing the entire field to then replay. Oh, the Zealantis states that you could put the monster face down. It's face up. When it could have been face down, now the Brute is activatable to pop the Brute and another card in the field. So we kind of oopsied on that resolution of the effect. It's not going to be too big of a deal though. Diplos triggering and the Brute activatable. So let's add the Brute on top of that. Yup, thank you very much. Get Brute in. Now, because you allowed the Brute to be activatable, now the Ferret Flames is in a more activatable state, but it's still not going to be good. We have extinguishing the Diplos. It was more important to pay half our life points. The combined attack of all face-up monsters higher than the life points is going to have to be shuffled back in the deck until they are less than or equal to the 3250. So we could keep just the Turbulence on the field. We're not activating Fair Flames? Why did... Oh, you let the attack happen first to shuffle everything. That was smart. Yes, correct. So let one attack go through. We're at 750, and then we are going to wipe everything back. Now, we also screwed up again a little bit. This is kind of not so good for us. The Promethean has an arrow left and right. It's called the buddy system, and she likes being buddies with the Zealantis. The Zealantis states that if he has a buddy, like the Promethean princess being linked up with it, it has the effect to, during the battle phase, destroy cards on the field up to the number of co-linked monsters on the field. Zealantis and Promethean, co-link, pop 2, non-target pop 2, force the early activation of the Ferret Flames before they take damage, then flip it up. So that is another issue, but I mean, we're still going to easily win this game. We are so far ahead, despite summoning the Diplos in face-up position, despite not co-linking to then pop the back row cards. It really just doesn't matter. We have the Ryzia, and because we have no Rescue Ace on the field in order to contain her, they have now set up a Frenzy. I mean, Rescue Ace does win this, right? Right? I think so. Like, can we really come back from this game? What? There's no way we can make a comeback. We have contained for the Rex term, right? We're fine. We should be perfectly fine. There's no way to come back. Send from the extra deck, and deck Rex term is now here. Anything bigger than 3750 cannot activate on the field. That's it. You could activate in the hand, you could activate in the grave, otherwise, no activate. Return 4 cards back, grabbing ourselves a Triple Tactics Talent. As long as we don't Rex term effect in the main phase, we're not going to get Triple Tactics Talented, but Contain is going to negate us anyway. Reduce, Contained, Triple Tactics Talent, draw 2 or take control, come to me, Rex term. Rex term is here as we now summon our Diablo Star. Rex term still is negated and cannot declare an attack. We're going to set up an Original Sinful, sending from our field to the grave, come forth and Shokan from the deck. We have Hydrant. Hydrant is going to be causing a surrender. So very well done. Thank you for that duel. And one of the benefits of playing a deck that's not well known is the surprise factor. You're going to see common misplays. And a lot of you could be thinking, how would you not co-link? What the heck? That's so obvious. Sometimes there is random anxiety and stress to just finish up the duel. A lot of people, this is a more intimate experience than the ladder. You're playing against people that you're probably going to see frequently week after week, and you don't want to be considered as unsportsmanlike. A lot of people really dislike it when the opponent takes too long to finish the duel. So sometimes it's just like, oh, if I just finish the duel quickly, my opponent's not gonna be mad at me. It could be a weird mindset to have, but it's still, you know, having some empathy for your opponent, waiting for your plays when they could just surrender. So out of respect, they don't surrender. And then out of respect, you finish the game early, but then you end up misplaying because of it. Pot of Duality. I love chaining Maxi to Duality because you see that sometimes, and it's a good Reddit post, as you're not allowed to special summon the turn you activate that card. Come forth and set up into the back row. Ooh, boy, do we have a great back row. We have the ability to summon Rex turn. We have the Intact to negate a monster effect. We have the ability to shuffle the opponent's entire field of face-up monsters back in the deck. We have the ability to alert Reborn our Rex term if it were to be destroyed in some way. Let's go. Altergeist 1 hour, that's something I also want to do. Airlifter, Frenzy, negate the Airlifter. I mean, why was I thinking Frenzy? I was not thinking that. Come forth and summon from the extra deck. My brain just turned off. Intact, negate the Max C, negate. So we're not turning off the Airlifter. We're not negating the Airlifter. It's activating, it's resolving. Everything with that is fine. But from that, we are so... Boy. Didn't we learn this in another duel? I know that because we see the hands, it's cheating, and it is more effective. It is considered a misplay if you don't go into Kentragina first, because what does Kentragina do? It's going to lower your life points even more from 2,000 to 1,000, making your Ferret Flames even more effective. But I think there's something to be said that it is valid. I don't think a very small subset of players actually play around Triple Tactics Talent, but the more I see people play into it in tournaments, the more I think about it on the ladder of, I really should just not activate my effect in the main phase unless I really need to, because a Triple Tactics Talent will completely screw my day, which it will. It's now going to steal the Rex term where you had no business to even have to activate a monster effect within the main phase. And just like that, Now the Rex term's no good. It's going to get yoinked. We don't have the Dinomorphia card that would be able to negate the triple tactics talent. There is a card that does negate it from Dinomorphia, and just like that, yoinked, because Kentragina wanted to lower the life even more. Now, we do have the backup of the Fair Flames, and you could be under the consideration of, I'm okay if they triple tactics because I have Fair Flames. So maybe Astro has the mentality of, if we didn't have Fair Flames, I wouldn't have played into the triple tactics talent, which the Ferret Flames itself was enough to cause them to surrender. So there you go. That could be fair. I'm interested if they do have that mindset. Let's get to it. Dinomorphia going second. And if I'm playing against Dinomorphia, I'm setting up a Masquerina to get that SP Little Knight towards the end of the main phase to try to banish a back row card. And with Master Duel being solely balanced around best of one, and Duelist Comp being the highest caliber of dueling, you get that benefit of playing an unknown deck where they're not going to make the most optimal turn one plays like a Masquerina to specifically counter you. Even though there's no side deck in this event, just knowing you're playing against Dinomorphia is a big advantage that your opponent won't have on the ladder. Set it up. Maybe going into the duel, if you have Dinomorphia sleeves or your name or your field is Dinomorphia related, that could be another issue. Let's go. How do we stop this? What do we do? What's the play? Lilith, Lady of Lament over a Therizia? For real? What? Okay, what's this gonna be doing here? We're gonna be trying to take out the Masquerina. We're gonna jump in response to Preventer, flipping her face down, quick effect Tribute, reveal 3 traps, and then add one of them to the hand. Let's go, or set it onto the field, that is. Nicely done. We try to take out the Masquerina unsuccessfully, and now there's an SP Little Knight. Are they gonna go for the for sure domain set? Do we go for that or what? Yes, exactly what we know. We banish it. And they're not done. They're going to be summoning an Airlifter from the deck here, triggering the Preventer to summon nothing, so no trigger. Grab back the field spell. Now let's talk about the situation here. You have main phase, Frenzy. They chain Ash. We chain Solemn Strike, and we're in a pretty good spot. Solemn Strike will reduce our life. Frenzy will reduce our life. We could even go into the Kentragina into the Rex term. The problem is the Extinguish and the Contain. Spell and trap cards against Rex term are a problem because it's an anti-monster card. Thus, we need something like Solemn Judgment more so than something like Solemn Strike, even though this actually is needed because of the Ash. Oh boy. This duel is going to be all about that Fair Flames, and they could use something like a Phoenix to force it out early. Ash negate, Solemn Strike, negate, negate. Alert Kid Reborn from the graveyard after an Extinguish. So the fear is them sitting on a Contain. Maybe they contain the Kentragina. Are they containing? They are containing Kentragina, which is also detrimental. Before we even get our Rex term out, we can't even get Rex term out. And it's not really a mistake here to have summoned Kentragina to play into the Contain, because Contain would have just been used on the Rex term itself. Add back. And what's wild about this is the Contain, nowhere does it say it's a hard once per turn. We could literally use Contain again and Extinguish. Double Contain, 1 Extinguish. Dinomorphia can't play through that, even with the Solemn Judgment. Come forth and banish. Preventer is here. Flip down that Kentragina. We are ready with that Fair Flames. 50-50. This is a 50% chance. Astro, you did set Ferret Flames in the same spot as the last duel, to be fair. But if the opponent knows that, and you know that the opponent knows that, then you would then put it back in that spot knowing that they would pop the other spot, but then they know that you know that they know that you know to do that, so then you put it in the original spot. Thus, the Phoenix will go for the original spot, right? Am I right? I think that's the case here. So it was a mistake to... Oh my gosh, it was correct. You put it in the right spot. They did not know that you knew that. They knew, thus they popped the wrong card. Not forcing out an early Ferret Flames. That is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Go spell, negate the alert from Reborning from the grave, and we have that Ferret Flames ready to spin the entire field back. We're gonna have another turn to play. We should. Ferret Flames right here, right now. Everything but the Hydrant. The Hydrant was small enough to remain at 625 life, a little bit lower, and we could have also spun back that Hydrant. Now the Hydrant is allowing the Contain and Extinguish to be activatable, thus the Therizia is going to be negated. That is a big issue. Now, there's also something interesting about this field. Therizia and Diplos are dinosaurs. In this deck, sometimes they secretly whip out a Dolka or a Lagia, which is built in Solemn Judgment. I don't think we're actually going to be able to summon it, right? There's no way. Therizia, activate, contain, negate. Lagia plus Frenzy. Yes? Do we have it? Do we have it? To battle? Wait, should we have... I guess it would have went even with it anyway. It's not that big of a deal, right? Okay, we got Frenzy. The Frenzy is good. Let's get to it. So we are going to be special summoning a Dinomorphia from the extra deck, using the deck and extra deck. We're not going to be able to go spell this. Get Frenzy in. Do not Kentragina. Do not Kentragina. We're going to play into Triple Tactics Talent again. Do not Kentragina. Just go into Rex turn, please. No! Not the Kentragina! He's got the talents again! Again, we're getting talented. Oh, no. Man, that Triple Tactics Talent eating Dinomorphia alive again. Oh my gosh. Yoink. We're now going to be banishing. I feel like we just give up now. That's it. Had we just summoned the Rex term, the Triple Tactics Talent not being activatable, could we have just sat on the Rex term? Turbulence would not be able to activate. What other plays do we have? 5 Triple Tactics Talents you've seen in total. The card's been resolving like crazy. Definitely consider playing it yourself, especially against Snake Eyes. It's a really good card. Being able to Triple Tactics Talent activate and taking control of a Fat Apollo USA against Snake Eyes is massive. Little Knight on summon, get banishing. Little Knight also another card that just would have not been activatable with the Rex term on field. We have the Diablo Star triggering to set from the deck, prevent her, trigger, come forth and summon a banished monster onto the field. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Let's keep on making our plays, and even when the Rex term goes on back to us, it don't matter. I appreciate you very much, Astro, Luna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are incredible. I'm very happy that you did well with Dinomorphia. Congratulations on top 8. I hope to see you again play the same deck next week. I love it. Let's hop into the next duel. Rescue Ace versus Mannadium. Let's go. Reinforcement of the army, reinforcing our hand with Reinhardt. All right, we got a ball on the field. Meek, pop the ball with the Reinhardt, trigger the ball, and also trigger the Reinhardt, chain link blocking its search effect. We could speed this up since there's no disruption whatsoever. The Reframing, which is going to be able to negate anything. We have the Baron to Floor, which will negate anything. We have the Ash, which will negate an interaction with the deck. And from the grave, we don't have any other disruption. And just like that, triple disruption. Did we misclick or what? So this had the effect to target any number of tuners you control, change their levels to 2, and also you could not special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Synchro Monsters. So we can only target the tuners. And something that's already not level 2, we were the only tuner that was not level 2, thus we were forced to target ourselves, making ourselves level 2, thus we are out of plays. Damn. Okay. Airlifter into the Baron to Floor. Airlifter, if we wanted to, could chain to that to summon a non-airlifter from the hand. So we didn't actually have something to summon there, but we do have our Triple Tactics Talent into the Reframing Negate. Now, because the Reframing negates the activation, if we have another copy of the Triple Tactics Talent, another one would be activatable. We're going to tribute over the Baron to Floor to come forth and summon the Curry card to then send the Curry card to summon for the deck nothing as the Ash Blossom negates. We've used up our normal summon. We have no further plays whatsoever. Unfortunately, the airlifter had nothing else of value to summon from the hand besides another airlifter, which is an illegal play. So, and just like that, Stardust taking an epic Game 1 victory despite Trisukta targeting itself to make itself level 2. We are going to, I'm going to boost up the in-game volume. Sorry for changing that for the leak. We have Diablo-Star sending the Divine Incarnate. Diablo-Star being negated by Imperm from searching for an original Sinful. It is a one-of, so potentially Imperming the Diablo-Star could be justified in the Rescue Ace mirror match of stopping them from summoning a Hydrant. Because if you save the Imperm for Hydrant, they'll likely have another Rescue Ace to make the Hydrant untargetable. So I do think there is a lot of good justification for using that Imperm only if you know you're playing against Rescue Ace. Because otherwise, if you're on the ladder and they open up Diablo-Star, Imperming the Diablo-Star against Snake Eyes, not a good idea. So there's going to be some differences of only when you definitely know what you're playing against on what to do. Max C, before any further plays are made, we're going to finger that Max C. Thus, we just have Little Knight and Imperm for our disruptive plays. In response to any card effect, we can banish ourselves plus another card and Imperm negate. So what do we do? Lightheart search for the field spell we already have. I guess we only play one field spell. We're going to be Little Knight banishing itself plus the Reichardt as we search for an Arrival. Arrival can reborn a Vsauce Starfrost in the graveyard or a Scareclaw. Field spell grabbing the Vsauce Starfrost, popping the Lightheart. We have nothing good to Imperm yet. What are we Imperming? Lightheart reborn because we have a Vsauce Starfrost. We could Lightheart into a Lightheart, but we don't have another field spell to... Wait. Why did you not activate? I guess you were playing around Little Knight. Oh, it actually makes sense. If you activate to search for the second field spell, Little Knight banishes you, then you can't special summon your Reichardt behind the Lightheart because there's no Lightheart on the field. So you just played well against SP Little Knight. Very good. Nemesis Flag is going to be returning the banished card by Little Knight back into the extra deck to search for a Nemesis monster. Imperm negate. Now, Little Knight, even though we don't have another card to return back on the field, is still going to return back to the field. We're going to arrive back our Vsauce Samsara. Can we put up some sort of lethal damage here? What do we have? We're going to further Shokan this into a Baron to Floor, Vicious Astrolaud into 67, into Reborn in attack position, over 10,000 damage on the field. Just like that, lethal damage is the... Oh my gosh, jeez. Was the Baboose needed? The Cross Sheep was an additional 700 onto every monster on the field. Holy moly. 7, 14, 21, 2,800 damage. Was it less than 8K otherwise? Who is the real? There can only be one Fury. Fury. Lily on summon, going to Ash Blossom the Lily. Normally, Ash is used against my friend Purrely, so this could be an interesting situation of maybe the Ash should not have been used. What do y'all think? We're now going to be guaranteeing a quick play spell to our hand, where otherwise we would have not had one. But to be fair, we could have grabbed a regular Purrely to normal summon, which would have grabbed one anyway. We also have Triple Tactics Talent, drawing 2 additional cards here. Shokan into the E, Purrely Nor. Return back the Ghost Trick Shot with the Dullahan being sent to the graveyard. And just like that, we have so much disruption. We're going to activate to draw, and then we're going to be going into the Expelliarmus to draw 2 more cards in addition. Activate. Wait, did we forget to use the Purely Surely? We're going to activate to draw a 3rd, activate to draw a 4th, drawing into an Ash and a Maxi. We already had the DD Crow, which is really good into Lily. Lily will target a card in the graveyard to Xyz with. If you DD Crow it, that is a big out. We're going to activate the Pretty Memory, chaining the Maxi to that Pretty Memory, and that is the scoop. Ain't no way. Let's hop into game number 2. It didn't really matter, I guess, how we would use. I guess if the Ash were used against my friend, it would have been a little bit better. We're not completely sure exactly how the duel would have ended up. And let's now take this into game 2. Purely Pretty Memory, discard Come Forth and Summon, Purely activate. Look at the top 3 cards of our deck, add a Purely spell or trap among those 3. Come to me, my friend Purely. We do have DD Crow against the Lily, which is, I mean, just feels like you have that in for just the mirror match. What else is DD Crow really that good against? We're going to be making the Ghost Rick Dullahan come to us into now the Angel of Mischief. Detach the Dullahan, come to me, Ghost Rick Shot. Ghost Rick Shot is going to attempt to reborn the Dullahan, which will now be banished in the graveyard, forcing out the early use of DD Crow to protect the Lily. So there you go. If you're not sold on the Ghost Rick package, I think the question is the Ghost Rick package win more? Win more means you're going to win anyway. In this case, I believe it definitely was not you're going to win anyway. The Lily would have been stopped by DD Crow, so being able to eat up a hand trap, that is great. We're going to now be chaining the Nord directly to the Quick Play spell to set up a Purely Leap into the back row. You could Chain Link block this. And in the end phase, we're going to set up the Sleepy Memory. I know someone earlier into today's stream was saying that the deck needs to be further unbanned. Are we all okay with this? I guess I'm kind of okay with it because I do like playing the deck myself. But being able to draw 4 to 6 cards consistently during every standby phase, not every, but during the opponent's standby phase, I feel like every duel we see Purely, they're always drawing 4 to 6 cards. That's kind of insane. Draw 1, draw 2. Red Reboot? What are you, Sista, is this side deck? What are you doing? Your main deck in Red Reboot, main deck in DD Crow. Gia, you have to check the deck list. There's ain't no way there's no side deck here. Red Reboots, negate the Purely Leap Mate. Flip it back down. Wow, we only get to draw 2 now. And we get to do to set up an Imperm, obviously not activated the turn it was set here. And no traps can be activated for the rest of the turn, as you can see. Ash Blossom, negating the Purely Happy Memory. So Earl really likes being quite free with that Ash, just using that Ash as soon, pretty much on the first opportunity to do so. And now the My Friend Purely is going in. Reveal, come to me, our Happy Memory, which we were activating anyway. Come forth and summon our Lily. Lily, come to me, Purely, as we're going to Purely randomly off the top 3 cards of our deck, grabbing a Pretty Memory. That was a very good ad. Lily is going to be coming in E Purely Happiness. This is not looking good for Earl. E Purely Happiness is going to be able to attack up to 4 times, searching for up to 4 cards, but because we have a Happy in the grave already, it's only 3. So search 3, attack 3, and it's just a lot of pluses. We're going to be able to make the X Purely Nor within main phase 2, also spinning back row cards to make them not activatable within the next turn here, so that's also beneficial. Let's do it again. Keep on swinging. I think that's the final swing, yes? 2 equip, 3 attacks, yup. We're going to activate the Purely to equip the Delicious Memory here. Why didn't we not spin back the Imperm? I guess we still have the opportunity to do so. Yeah, we could do that if we want to. So equip Happiness, spin back the Impermanence. We did reveal the Imperm that we were setting into the back row. What? You're not spinning back Imperm. Why is that? Why are we not doing that? Okay, Plump is going to be chaining to the Quick Play spell to equip. We have the option to non-target banish a card. We're going to suck up their cards instead. Is that why we didn't want to give them the Imperm? We have the X Purely Nor. Let's go. With 6 material. Double X Purely Nor. We're going to send our back row to suck up the monster and the turn. And just like that, holy moly, is Earl in trouble. We have spin, 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 spin. 6 spins. Both monsters are completely unaffected from activate effects. We have how many draws? We could draw none. No draw. All the sleepies are in the grave, I guess. Yeah. Wait, where are the sleepies? We just didn't have sleepies to begin with. Lily grabbing the My Friend Purely. Let's get to it. My Friend Purely, we can afford to spin without becoming affected by card effects here, so Imperm would not be usable. The next spin, we could chain Imperm to the spin. Lily, this is it. This is where the Imperm is going to be activatable on that X Purely Nor, which again has me questioning, why did we not deal with the Impermanence? We equipped with the Happy, I should say the Happy, and we didn't spin the back row card back. We said no to the effect. Chaining the Expurrely Nor again before we get negated. For our third spin here, we have 3 more spins still. We spin the quick play spell in the graveyard, keeping the Lily on the field. A Lily on field in attack position, I guess we could Anima, get Suckin, or I guess Xyz or link up with it. Should we have spun back the Lily? Was the Lily special summoned? I think we normal summoned it, right? The Lily was, I do think this is important, we special summoned it so it was untargetable through the field spell, so it does make sense. Little Knight unsummoned, banishing the only Expurrely Nor that is effectable due to the other one being unaffected. We're going to be chaining the SP Little Knight to the Purrely activation. Now, this was a properly summoned Expurrely Nor. Otherwise, if you use the trap to summon it, it would be going back to the extra deck within the end phase. We did have the ability in response to the Expurrely Nor to chain spin back the SP Little Knight into the deck. Thus, the Purrely on the field would not get banished at all. It has to banish both cards, otherwise no banish. We still get the effect, though, of look at the top 3. And, okay, it was good. It's not that big of a deal to have to spin back the SP Little Knight, but maybe it would have been a good idea to just get rid of it. We're going to suck up that straight Purrely Street. Let's go. Only 1,100 attack. Real? We're turning our Expurrely Nor into a Zeus? Is that correct? We have 4 field wipes, but we lose to an impermanence, right? Oh, what? Oh gosh, Triple Tactics Talent's going to take control of it, isn't it? No, they're not going to get them to use in the main phase. There's no reason to do so. So what would happen if you activate Zeus, they chain Little Knight, you just activate Zeus again, and then the Little Knight will not banish the Zeus. You're going to maintain your other materials that you still have, but that's the out to the Little Knight. Just battle over it, but the activations of the Zeus would be if it were not your turn, that's what you would do. So the fear is the Triple Tactics Talent that we don't even know about, but it's going to be activatable because we're definitely going to Zeus within the main phase. Lily, go in, Maxi in response to the Lily. We're not using Zeus to wipe the field. Come forth into the Beauty. This is interesting. Triple Tactics, activate, chain negate, chain to the negate, double wipe the field, follow up with the My Friend Purrely, and then we're out of cards? How, weren't we winning? How did this happen? Beauty's gonna preemptively negate, and then we're gonna wipe up the Beauty, and then we're gonna follow up. Let's go. Are we even gonna take control? Or just detach our materials, get rid of them? Okay. Why we double detach there? Double field wipe? Triple Tactics Talent. Now we're going to be getting rid of our materials even more so that they cannot Zeus into a Zeus with more amount of materials. Makes sense. And you're negated, obviously, due to the Beauty, but we're just dumping the materials. Yoink! And now we have that My Friend Purrely to discard the Leap into a regular Purrely. Since we already summoned the Lily and used the first and second effect. We're gonna grab Delicious, poke for 3,000, overlay for nothing, because why? Why even do so? Just give it back, I guess. Should we have overlaid? SP Little Knights on summon, banishing the My Friend off of the field here. Cannot attack directly after banishing. Okay. Yeah, why'd we give it back? I'm not so sure on that. We have the straight Purrely Street, special summoning from the deck. We're going to make the Little Knight indestructible by battle as the Purrely randomly reveals off the top of the deck a My Friend Purrely. The Little Knight cannot chain banish to the Purrely effect. It's not possible. It is not targetable, so Little Knight has only itself to target and banish. So we're going to reveal 3, come to me, guaranteed. We have our normal summon on the Lily. We could chain banish the Lily, though. It is possible. And we could do so in response to its effect to Xyz to the graveyard. So there we go. That is the correct play. Get the Lily out of here. The field spell and the My Friend Purrely do not trigger. There has to be a Purrely Xyz in order for it to trigger. Wow, this is a very interesting duel of back and forth, some basic plays here. To battle we go, Little Knight wiping out the Lily, ending our turn. We have a Purrely Street that's going to be no good. Regular Purrely, come forth off the top of the deck. Let's get lucky. There it is. We have the quick play spell that we very much wanted, and the Happy Memory is very good going second. In response to the Purrely activating, we're going to be banishing that Purrely off of the field, chain Happy Memory, chain Maxi to that Happy Memory. We just have to deal 2,400 damage. So we just go for it, right? We're going to go into Lily, add a card. This could be negated by the Ash Blossom, potentially. Not going to negate. We have not even used the My Friend Purrely yet. We're going to go into a Plump. Now, Plump's going to get real plump fast. We're going to keep on sucking up cards from both players' graveyards and cards from our hand. Plumping up, now up to 2,600 attack. Enough for lethal damage. Earl defeating Double X Purrely Nor. Double X Purrely Nor with 6 spins, both unaffected from activate effects, and he somehow won. All right, what do we have here? Ooh, Mourner, Ash, a Max C. Now, unfortunately, we didn't have any other cards to bait out the Ash Blossom, as Earl has been Ash Blossoming other card effects here. My Friend Purrely, negated, triple tactics talent, into, look at the hand. Wow, interestingly, we are not drawing 2 when our own hand has no plays whatsoever. I guess we're leaning on, if we can use our hand traps plus looking at their hand, we could then just solely rely on the My Friend Purrely for future plays. Interesting. I guess we just returned one of the quick play spells back. Yeah, the less quick play spells, the better. Return back the Pretty Memory. Let's go. Off the top of the deck, we have Ghost Rick Shot. We know that there is one card that is unaccounted for, so that one Ash Blossom for the one quick play spell plus the potential other quick play spell. But then we're going to find out that there is not another quick play spell. Very nice for us. Drawing into a quick play, guaranteeing another quick play. We know that there's a Moonlit Chill, which will activate on the special summon of a monster. So come forth Lily, Lily activate, Moonlit Chill, fully negate, thus the Lily is not going to be able to accede to the graveyard. We do have the Delicious Memory, which is activatable, but are we willing to discard Max C? We're discarding that Max C. Summon a Lily. We're not going to accede to the graveyard. We are going into the Ghost Rick play. Now, this will be setting up a UDF. Let's go. Detach, come to our hand, Ghost Rick Shot, Reborn from the graveyard, further exceeds into the Ghost Rick Angel, now making our Utopic Draco Future, plus Dullahan, adding a card in the grave back to the hand, the Ghost Rick Shot, which will be discardable with our next turn newly added Quick Play spell. We can not only negate, but we're going to take control of the monster we negate. This is not good. Happy Memory, activate, come forth, and summon, but if we activate, the control gets taken, it's negated, there's nothing we could do. Yoink. Gia, did I startle you? It looked like you jumped out of your chair. All right, and just like that, UDF for the win. Remus, discard, come to our hand, Dragon, Ravine, let's speed this up until that Maxie's activated, not maxing against a Gamma potentially. Imperming this is huge. Is there a Veiler? Oh, we do have Ash. Ash is already used. There is no Imperm in sight. Ain't no way. No Imperm, no Veiler. Come forth and summon, draw 4, return 3, and we have the field spell now searching for our Turtle Kaiju. We're gonna Basil Rose Shoot, Reborn from the grave, come forth, activate the Skull Dread to special summon the Turtle Kaiju, and now your hand traps do not matter. We have Omni Negate, it is negate and banish. So normally if you were to negate and destroy something like a Sharon activating, she'll then trigger in the graveyard to fuse, but with the turtle, you're gonna negate and banish, so no fusion summon for you. Further show conning, how many cards left we have? We have 15 cards left on the deck, now 14. We're gonna Pisty make a baby with the Saryuja, reborning the Gay Durg from the grave. Saryuja boost up that Gay Durg, activate to grab the Ringo Worm being sent to the grave. We're gonna further Shokan this up into another Hieratic Seal. Hieratic Seal is here. Ringo Worm is going to be activating from the graveyard, banish to summon a token onto the field, as we then make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, a monster negate, We have the Dissipator reborning the banished Rocket Tracer, banishing for the Baldrake with 8 cards left in the deck. Rocket Tracer popping the Baldrake, summon from the deck a Recharger, further Shokaning this up into a Borreload Savage Dragon. 6 cards left in the deck. Are we done? Oh my gosh. Is this max 5? Yeah, it's max. I was like, how is this not going up? So the turtle can negate 2 cards. 2 cards, banish 2 cards. We have the Crystal Wing, which will negate a monster. We have the Borreload, which will negate anything. We have the Dissipator, which doesn't have a negate yet, but it will be a disruption. We have the Ash Blossom. We have the Hermetic Seal. We have 7 disruption, but yeah, the chat is spamming that the opponent has a triple Super Poly in the hand. The ultimate board-breaking card, but how are we going to break the Kaiju on field? There isn't another water on the field. There is a wind, there's 2 darks, so the Dissipator and the Borreload will get super polyed. Let's go. All right, first going to start this off with the Fenrir into a super polymerization, using the Dissipator and Borreload into a Garura. 5 cards left in our deck. We're going to set the, oh no, your water with my water. So you couldn't super poly just our field. Now there's a Kick Cal. We tried. This was a valiant effort. We're not going to even activate the Kick Kalos here. We're going to be activating our Tearlament field spell, Ash Blossom Negate. We just have the Heavenly Sphere and the Crystal Wing Synchro. Is Tearlament on 40 cards? Could we have decked out a normal player or what? Fenrir attempting to trigger and banish, but the Crystal Wing Synchro is going to negate and destroy and also get buff boosted to 5,400. We're now going to further Shokan this up. I also am playing the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Super Polymerization, fusing with our own field to make a Dragostapelia. Now, the 5,400 attack is not going to be negated by the Dragostapelia, but we're attempting to negate instead the Heavenly Sphere. Dodge the negate, spin a card they control back to the hand, come forth and trigger, summon from the deck. Ash Blossom is actually going to negate, which you can't even have really seen it being sent from the hand to the grave there. All the way over there. The opponent has to constantly scroll their hand left and right. Honda, they maybe would have timed out, right? Like if we just let them try to attack for a game, they maybe would have ran out of time. Damn. Honorable Honda Power did not want to win from a timeout victory, thus surrendering before they time out. All right, what can we do here? We have Sam again. All right, fine. Remus discard searching for a Dragon Ravine. We're gonna have to speed this up, aren't we? Okay, let's go. Honda Powered, are you gonna attempt it again? I think you know the ceiling of your deck not having enough special summons, so you don't even attempt it, right? Or are we gonna go all out again? As the problem is, we know they play Super Poly, so they're pretty much guaranteed to have Super Poly if you let them draw out their entire deck. So you now have to think, do we have an ending field that does not lose to Super Poly as we just end our turn after that Ash Blossom? All right, Rhino on summon. We are in the Nibiru zone. Let's see. Summon number 2. Kick Cal on 2. Activate to search our deck or send. We're going to send a Tearlament Kashtira. Mill 2. Send ourself to Reborn. We're on summoned number 3. Kit Cal, trigger to mill 5 as we also mill an additional 3. We have mill 8. If Ru Kalos gets made under 5 summons, then the Nibiru is no good, which is now, unfortunately, unless we choose to summon a Kaleido Heart instead, which also triggers off of the Nibiru sending it to the graveyard to reborn itself back in the field. Summon number 4. Summon number... Oh! We are not summoning Ru Kalos. So we could wait on the Nibiru. We are in the Nibiru zone. Let's go. And Tearlament can't fuse again with the Kick Cal into a Ru Kalos. They didn't have lethal, so we don't Nibiru. But main phase 2 is a different situation. We're gonna have to Nibiru into the main phase, wipe up the field, Kaleido, reborn from the graveyard, unfortunately. Come forth, sending from the deck a Sulliek. Sulliek being sent, we'll be searching our deck for a Sharon. And it looks like their field's possibly now going to be better than what it was. As the Hollow additionally mills, the Heartbeat is triggering, adding back the Sulliek. They were ending without a Sulliek. And now the Destretto is further cooking into an Ancient Fairy Dragon, popping your field spell to search their own field spell. It's, you know, what can you do? The Nibiru was a mistake, but I feel like we would have lost anyway, right? Meta Noise triggers Kaleido. Kaleido spins in addition to being flipped face down. Also triggers a fusion summon into a Kit Cow, which could go directly into a Root Cow. Wow, this became a lot better. We also had Super Poly we were gonna have to play around. Return back our Nibiru. Normal summon Steam the Cloak. Meta Noise flip it face down. Ash Blossom, negate. You want the sad music for this? Chain Super Poly, just like that. Oh my gosh. Honda, no! Dying for Honda. You're the chosen one, Honda. It was the turtle that would have saved us all. The damn kaiju turtle is not enough. Super Poly. Freaking Super Poly Max C. All right, let's hop in the next match. Thank you, Honda. You're a real one. Vsauce, Samsara, linking that up into the Lightheart. This is a big risk and high reward if it actually worked, if they don't have the field spell already in the hand. But we're not taking it. We're going to instead chain Impulse summon from our deck a Preventer. Preventer is going to be on summon, triggering the summon of a Fire Engine. And now we have the turn 0 play of flipping down the opposing monster face down. Cross out Designate, negate the Ash Blossom. Further showconning into a level 10 Chaos Angel. We used a light, we used a dark. On summon, banish. All of our synchros are completely unaffected from monster effects, and none of our monsters can be destroyed by battle. Surrendering on turn 1. Oh my gosh. Come forth, Hydrants. Come to me, Rescue Ace Preventer. Further showconning this up into Linkuriboh. Preventer is going to get banishing for the grave. Come forth. Let's speed this on up since there's no hand traps whatsoever. Summoning our Turbulence. Turbulence setting up 4 cards into the back row. And we are now having triple disruption there, plus the effect Veiler and the Ash. So we have 5 disruption plus the Masquerena, so 6 disruption. We're going to add in Impulse, and there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 disrupt the playthrough. Of course, we have our triple tactics talents. Lightheart, Impulse is going to be chaining in response to the Lightheart to summon from the deck. Call by the Grave is going to be fingering the Impulse to stop the summon from the deck. We're going to rescue the Impulse from the finger, dodge the finger, fingering nothing, as we then summon from the deck. What are we summoning? Probably a Preventer. Preventer is here for that extra disruption. Very well done. I'm curious what the Masquerena is going to go into. Will it be an SP Little Knight? We have Ash negating as we're now down to 5 disruptions left. And we could be using that triple tactics talent to take control of the Masquerena, forcing out the activation of the Masquerena potentially. We're going to chain Extinguish. We're not chaining Masquerena. So let's yoink it, right? Masquerena is what we take. Exactly. Now we have Veiler and Contain and Preventer. We have triple disruption. We now just have Contain and Effect Veiler as we flip face down the Starfrost that pops the Masquerena into now making a Vicious Ash Aloud on summon, wiping out the Preventer. And we're going to use Contain to contain the effect of Ash Aloud, stopping it from popping our monster. And also, it is not allowed to declare an attack. With 1 Effect Veiler left for disruption, Mannadium scoops it up. Alrighty. Rhymeheart on summon. Impulse is going to change to the Rhymeheart. as we are not being negated, but a monster being summoned for the deck will be the Preventer, then chain the Fire Engine. I feel like this is so common. How does this keep happening? How do we keep having a turn 0 Book of Moon? This is wild. Flip down that Rhymeheart before linking it off as we grab a... That ended the turn. Turn 0 Preventer with Fire Engine, end the turn. Very well done. I love this combo. It works out so well. Let's go. Lifter. I've been seeing some Asian Torrents play 0 Impulse and instead side deck it if it's a side deck event. But being able to Impulse into Preventer plus a Fire Engine for turn 0 Disruption, it seems way too good. Turbulence activating to set up to 4 cards from the deck. Let's get to it. Come to me. Is there any open window or priority where Flame Burst can't be triggered in the graveyard? It is because it's moving. So if it's sent to the grave within the damage step, it would trigger. And the Diablo Star, it's summoning onto the field. So if it were to trigger from being moved, it's on summon effect. If you were to summon it in the damage step, it would activate. All right, very well done, Masquerena. We are setting up the field spell, and of course, the mandatory trigger effects do overcome that, and the flip face-up effects also overcome the trigger effect of working in the damage step ruling. Impulse, come forth, summon Preventer from the deck here. Arrival, come to me. Preventer get flippin', flip down the right card as Stardust now scoops it up after that turn 0 Preventer play. Very well done, Rescue Ace advancing into the grand finale. Alrighty, let's begin. Double red reboot. What are you doing? Do you have a problem against Labyrinth or something, huh? Let's go. End our turn. Yeah, that is something, huh? Okay. Even, wait, why not, like, Lily, my friend Purrely, quick play, equip from the grave, activate, summon a regular Purrely. Like, we had something. This wasn't completely dead, actually. I don't understand. What? All right. Rhino Heart on summon. We're going to chain link block with the Scream, so the Rhino Heart itself does not get Ash Blossomed. We just ended on nothing. I don't understand. How do we just nothing? Absolutely nothing. He bricks? This is not a brick. Delicious into Lily. Lily, my friend Purrely. Grab a quick play spell. Make a plump. Activate the quick play spell, plump equip it, summon a Purrely, and then if that Purrely hits a quick play spell, suck it up with the plump, make an X Purrely Nor. Or just plump and leap, makes an X Purrely Nor during the opponent's turn. It may not be a 5 material one, but it's something. Oh, you need a body, you're right, you need a hand trap. I was thinking about TCG, I'm sorry. In the TCG, I've seen this play done multiple times in the YCS. In Master Duel, you have to normal summon a hand trap. So if the red reboot were, let's say, a DD Crow or an Effect Veiler, normal summon the hand trap, then use Delicious Memory on it, then it works. Okay, my bad. 79? You what, mate? Not enough for lethal. Oh, we got lethal. That Fairy Tale Snow. Always hiding in the graveyard there for game. Come forth. Lethal damage. Very nicely done. Okay. All right. It's okay. That's okay. Listen, okay. In the TCG, I've heard TCG players, and you may even hear them say it right now in the chat. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I have seen them use this card. Are you ready? On itself. Choose one card on the field. I've seen them just open this with nothing else on the field and choose itself for protection. Just saying. My friend Purrely, we are going to Ash negate. Just like that, mate. Yeah, Rev Synchro version, so I don't know if you consider that to be pure. There is no true pure tier if this is not considered pure. Lily, come forth and summon. We have the Hovness being chained. We're going to chain Max C instead of Ash because we want to be drawing into some more plays. So with that mill 3, what are we milling? Actually hit the fusion trigger, ain't no way. But how much are we going to do? Are we going to Kit Cal, send Hovness, make a Rucal, draw an additional card in? Okay, we're going to Ash this. We're not going to even let them potentially do that. Negate. No send from the deck, no add from the deck to the hand. You're out of here. So we drew enough off of that. We got the regular Purrely, revealed the top 3, come to me, straight Purrely Streets. Our newly special summon Purrelys will be completely untargetable, as we now make an Purrely Happiness turn 1, which is not very good. But we can suck up the Pretty Memory, or just make a Beauty, and then I think we're gonna send the Purrely to suck up the Kikalos. Yes, send, give her the good suck, and we're now at 4 material, 5 material during the end phase, which will be 6 material during the opponent's turn. We got a draw 2 combo. We have draw 1, draw 2, multiple spins, triple spin after draw 2 is enough to scoop. And we get spin from the graveyard, which is really detrimental against tier limit because they activate in the grave to fuse, spin their monster that wants to fuse, no fusion summon, you're done. We have lots of disruption. We have negate anything. We have negate a monster. We have flip face down. We have trigger a fusion, which can then go into a Kaleido Heart to spin a card in the field back in the deck. We have negate a special summon. We have pop a card in the field. We have negate with the Baron to floor. I can't even check if there's a snow in the graveyard. Both my hands are being used. Is there a snow in here? We have Mudora. Yep, there's a snow. Yeah, we're on 8 disruptions, and the Mudora could trigger the field spell whenever we want. Let's go. Now, red reboots can get negated by crime. So we need the reboot to negate the crime and nothing else. Uh-oh. The reboot will turn off every other trap. Focus, focus. Lily on summon, triggering the Scream. We're not using Sulliek in response to the Scream. Interestingly, just allowing it to go through. Hovness being triggered to fusion summon, returning back in the deck. Shadow Window. We got floodgates now. Now, field spell being triggered, taking out the Lily. This states that each player can only special summon once per turn while this is face up. So that's a normal, that's okay. Exceeds with the graveyard, that's not okay after it applies because you can't further special summon afterward. Now the Sulliek is negating, and we held on to the red reboot. Was the crime searched for? Do we know that crime's in the back row? Chain Pretty, that's our last special summon. We can't Xyz. That's it. Nope, can't do anything. This is it. Okay, once we realize, hold up, what am I doing with this? There's a window on the field. That's my last special summon. I have reboot for the crime, but they don't even need the crime. They auto win with the window. Damn. Hydrant. In response to the Hydrant, we're going to chain Hovness to come forth and summon and mill 3. Off of this mill 3, we hit the Rhino. Rhino's going to summon by sending a tier limit card. Now, don't be confused. This is just turn 1, and we end up on not just, but we have Promethean, Preventer, Flip, Effect, Veil, or Negate. So pop, flip, and negate. Let's go. We played through triple disruption. Foolish Burial sending a Destrudo. Destrudo's going to summon itself onto the field as a level 3, making a level 7 Synchro Black Rose Dragon to wipe the field. We have Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler, negate the Black Rose Dragon. Just like that. All right, we can follow up with Tier Limit Grief. Tier Limit Grief is essentially a Foolish Burial. So we have 2 more disruption. Summon a tier, send the tier, trigger the tier, come forth, and then we're going to discard the Heartbeat, activate, send from the deck. Heartbeat also triggering, recycling the crime in the grave back to our hand. Could send Hovness or Sharon, and let's make some plays. So from the deck, we have Hovness activating. We can't summon Rukal unless we returned it back into the extra deck for the kick out to then send from the deck. Looks like we're going for a Kaleido. Kit Cal is here. Activate to add from the deck a Sharon. We could Time Thief Redoer with the Rhino Heart to detach the Sharon by monster effects, and then come forth and summon a Kaleido. Time Thief Redoer, we're doing exactly that. Sharon fusing with the face-down Kit Cal, returning back in the deck for Kaleido. On summon, Kaleido's going to spin a card in the field back into the deck. Now, you would think that you maybe want a Promethean Princess, but think twice. If you Promethean pop the Kaleido, it's going to go to the grave, reborn, and send a tier from the deck to the grave, triggering something like a Scream or a Sulliek. Because the Crime at the moment is actually not activatable unless we have a monster in the hand. So if you give them the ability to add a monster to the hand, their field's going to become better. To battle we go, big enough to wipe out that Promethean. Do not leave her up. She does have that ability to reborn from the grave. Now, what could be really good is if the Redoer steals a spell. I mean, a trap is also good. But with the spell, we could draw into a monster, making the Crime activatable to negate anything. Otherwise, we don't have disruption. It's all up to Redoer. Go spell. That was bad. That did nothing. Okay. Come forth. And yeah, Triple Tactics talent also here. Come to us, but it's not activatable. SP to the Little Knight on summon, banish off the field. Goodbye to that Kaleido Heart. Emergency summon for the deck. Turbulence. Send the Hydrant. We have no way to stop the Turbulence. Crime is even more dead, more so than it was before, as we not only need a monster in the hand, we also need a face-up tier limit on the field. And just like that, there is no way Tier is going to come back from this duel. Let's speed this up. We have Original Sinful sending our Turbulence, summon the Hydrant. Hydrant is going to allow the Rescue to rescue our Preventer from the graveyard. Flip the Redoer face down. We're going to chain banish the Redoer so it does not detach by card effect the Bell, which was not going to even really be doing anything. And we're going to, within the draw phase, take out the Redoer before it activates in the standby phase, stealing a card off the top of our deck. The card that would have been stolen was a Diablo Star, so it really would not have even done that much. Scream is dead, Crime is dead, and thank you very much, Mordred, for abiding by the rules of not being allowed to surrender. Thus, we're taking this into game number 2. Thank you. Lifter could summon Hydrant, otherwise we have no hand trap whatsoever. You could Chainlink block the Lifter from summoning the Hydrant by putting the Scream on a higher Chainlink. Also Chainlink blocking from an Ash Blossom. 7 TV, thank you. Sending from the deck a Sharon and the tier limit Kashtira. By putting the Scream on the higher Chainlink, not only does it block, but it gives you more knowledge on what to send with the Rhino Heart. Thus, we sent the tier limit Kashtira for even more mills instead, making our tier limit Kit Kalos. On summon, add a Sharon from the deck, a good way to get our Fairy Tale Snow into the grave. We're going to reborn the tier limit Kashtira, sending the Kit Cal to now mill 8. Mill 8, 3 and 5. So we milled 3, 2, 3, 5, 20 cards, I'm sure. Shadow Beast when randomly milled, activating to draw a card. Havnish triggering on mill to fusion summon into Rukalos. Is Snake Eyes Dominance really the only thing holding back Tier from being crazy? It's just Snake Eyes a little bit of a better deck, that's all? Because otherwise, Tier looks great. Come forth and Shokan from the grave. Destrudo, Baron de Floor. I knew Baron de Floor was the problem. Now making the Time Thief Redoer with the quick effect to send the Sharon to trigger a fusion. We have a lot of disruption. Super Poly, Sulliek negate, Ash negate, Baron de Floor negate, fuse into disruption, negate a special summon. We have a Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard, about 7 disruption. Let's go. We can also draw a card. All right, 7 disrupt. No Triple Tactics talent, so do we even stand a chance? Additionally, summoning the Impulse, mill 3 cards off the top of our deck. Metanoia is going to add back the tier limit Kashtira, which will randomly mill some cards off the top of our deck. We're going to Sulliek, negate. Impulse cannot jump off the field here. It has to be in response to a monster effect. Sending Rukal, which can now be fingered. Rukal is going to be reborning. Come forth and summon. Tier, you are banishing Rukalos? What? Okay, so we're now down to 5 disruption. Super Poly, Baron de Floor, Sulliek, Ash, and the Fairy Tale Snow. Prime is going to be adding the Rucalis back to the extra deck as the Rhino. Are you going to just resummon her back on the field? Probably. Come forth, Rhino. Rhino on summon, activate and descend from the deck. Heartbeat is going to recycle the meta noise back to our hand. Come forth. Let's get to it. Instantly recovering. Obnus from the deck. Come forth, Infusion Summon. Returning back in the deck. 3 cards to summon our Kaleido Heart. Kaleido on summon, spin a card in the field back of the deck. The Impulse could chain in response to this. We're going to chain our Airlifter instead to special summon our Hydrant. Now, we still have our regular normal summon play. We're now going to Super Poly before the Hydrant is able to activate to search the deck, using the field into a Mood Dragon, even though the Hydrant was untargetable. Ending the turn with so much more disruptions in sight. To battle we go. We only have 14,000 damage on the field. Lethal damage. All right, let's take this into game 3. Snake Eyes really that good? Snake Eyes, oh my gosh. Come forth, Lifter, lift off, grabbing, and emergency come to me. Reinforcing the army, come to me. Tier limit, Rhinoheart. I remember being immensely pissed. My brother pulled a Breaker the Magical Warrior from a pack from Toys R Us, and I don't remember how old I was, but I was doing everything I could to convince him to give it to me because he didn't even play the damn game, and I did. SP Little Knight chaining to the Rhinoheart, banishing itself, plus the Rhino itself. We have the Hell Shadow Hollow, which is going to mill 1. Rescuing the Sharon from the graveyard, stopping the fusion summon. The Sharon must be used for the fusion summon itself. Due to us having the Hydrant, it's kind of like a DD Crow. Yoink. Rhino back in the field, now getting popped by the Extinguish. And even if we had a tier card in the hand, it would not be able to trigger due to the effect of the Extinguish due to the Hydrant, making it so the monster destroyed cannot activate. It just like that, permanently taken control of Sharon's now going to be used against tier. With just 3,400 on the field and so far, over 9,000 damage just like that. Rescue Ace, lethal for game. Uses Sharon for the final attack. Damn. Very well done from both players. Thank you very much. Let's go. Rescue Ace is the best deck if you end up nerfing the Snake Eyes. And I think everyone understands that. We all know that. And that's why you should they're probably going to hit Airlifter. Airlifter is something I do expect to get hit. So let's check out the deck list from the bottom to the top. Let's go. Anna Man. Lots of tier limit in today's tournament, and some of them ended up topping. This is with Horus, so I'm liking Horus a lot. That's probably how I want to be playing the deck. Thank you, Anna Man. And then we have Mannadium. I'm really shocked at how well Mannadium's doing when Snake Eyes is no longer in the picture. I guess it took nerfs on Super Heavy Samurai and also knocking out Snake Eye for this to be a super good deck. And then we have Hackbee. Hackbee with Infernoble, looking good. A lot of people main deck in Red Reboot. Some people are saying, why is Labyrinth not doing well in your tournaments? Well, why are people main deck in Red Reboot? That's probably the reason why. Gargolo, Rescue Ace is the place, looking nice. And then we have Captain Bash whipping out the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare within the tournament. That was quite fun. And then we have Supreme King with another Rescue Ace deck, nothing too crazy. We have Pariah with I'm going to be stealing this deck list. So if you want to be playing Salamangreat, this looks great. This is the way to play it. The Buffalo seems like it's not standard, though. If I were to look at Buffalo's usage here, the Buffalo, it's not really used much, but okay, it's still in some Salamangreat decks. Interesting. Yeah, I would like to know what he really thinks about Buffalo. What does everyone think about Buffalo? We have Net Virus with the way to play Dragon Link. So there is the main and the extra. And then we have Abdullah with some top tier Rescue Ace. And I mean, I think the card of the day was Triple Tactics Talent. I don't know about all you, that put in the most work. If I were to think about the best, most impactful tech of the day besides Max C, of course, Triple T was the way. Super Poly was pretty good too. Luna with the Wannabe. I think Wannabe is the way to play with Dinomorphia. As long as you're not playing against Rescue Ace, I guess that does make it a bit sus. If the Rescue Ace has a bunch of set back row, then this becomes kind of dead. But you can still get lucky. And then Earl GB with Ghost, Rick, Purrely. I'm loving it. Good job, Earl. And then this was probably the coolest deck of the day. Honda powered. Here is the main deck, 60 cards. And then here is the extra deck. It's all about summoning the Ancient Fairy Dragon, searching for the Kaiju field spell, and then setting up the multiple Omni Negates with the Sea Turtle, negate and banish. And it negates in the damage step, so that's actually incredible. We then have Stardust Hope with some more Mannadium Nemesis. All right, very cool. And then we have Sea Summer Rita with more Purrely Ghost Rick. Good job. And then second place Mordred, not playing Horus. I know in the Master Duel Discord, a lot of them are saying that not playing Horus is actually the way. So good job to you. You have shown that you did really well at this with the Revolution Synchron instead. Here is the extra deck, okay. But I'm leaning towards Horus just because it's newer. That's why I would probably want to play that version myself, not because it's better. And then first place, 47 cards, Devastation Team Valdo. Very well done. Good job to you. Thank you to everyone. We're going to go back to the normal ban list, which will be the next ban list announcement. All right. Appreciate you all. We are out. Let's go.